All right, let's look at the homework 5.1, problem number 9. All right, so we know that the acceleration is negative 32 feet per square second. All right, so let's say ball is thrown upward with the initial velocity. All right, so we know that the velocity is the first derivative of the position function, and the initial velocity is given to be 44 feet. So this is equal to 44. All right, and initial height is 12 feet. So we have S of 0 is equal to 12. All right, so you have that, and express the height S of the ball as a function of time t. All right, so let's do that. All right, so let's start with S double prime of t. All right, and this is equal to negative 32, so that's given. All right, so we can find S prime of t by finding the antiderivative of that, so it's a negative 32. With respect to t, right? So this is going to give us negative 32 t plus some constant, call it C1. Then we can use the initial conditions. So S prime of 0 is equal to, all right, put 0 in there, so that's 0. So that's going to be C1. But we know that the S prime of 0 is 44. Right, so which means that this is negative 32 t plus 44. All right, so let's look at the s of t. All right, so we can take another antiderivative of negative 32t plus 44 with respect to t. All right, this is going to be equal to negative 32, and the antiderivative t is t squared over 2, and the antiderivative of 44 is 44t, right? And then plus some constant, I'm going to call it C2, right? Then since we know that the initial position is, or initial height is S of 0 is 12, so if you plug in 0, right? So first term is 0, and the second term is 0, so you have a C2, right? So that's going to be equal to 12, right? So we know that the complete formula would be, I'm going to go ahead and simplify this, 32 divided by 2 is 16. And so you're going to have negative 16 t squared plus 44t and plus 12. All right, so we got that. All right, so this is the height function, and we want to, let's see, so we found that, and how long will the ball be in the air, right? So we know that, let's see, so we have to find the time when it hits the ground, which is at when the height is 0. So I'm going to set S of t equal to 0, right? So you have a negative 16 t squared plus 44t plus 12 is equal to 0. All right, let's see. Let's factor out. Let's see what's in common. Let's pull out negative 4. So if I have negative 4, and then you're going to have positive 4t squared and a minus 11t minus 3, right? And this is going to be equal to 0, right? Then I think we can factor this out. So negative 4 still sits there. And I'm going to split this into, and if you can't do it, you can use the quadratic formula anyway. So I think we can factor it out as 4t here and t there. And let's see, negative 3 and a positive 1. right? So you can see that if you multiply -1, -3, you get -3. And 4 times -3 is -12, plus 1 gives you -11. So this should be right. So this will give us t is equal to, right, setting this equal to, you're going to get the -1/4, right? Setting this guy equal to 0, so you get 3, right? We can't really go back in time, so t equals 3 is the next time it hits the ground, right? So the ball will be in the air for 3 seconds, right? So let's go ahead and type it in, 3 seconds. Submit for testing. All right, it came back and looks like we got this one correctly. All right, that's it. I hope that this was clear.